So yesterday we have discussed about the paging. Like for example, the CPU want to access the byte number 3, right? The CPU want to access this byte number 3. Now, yesterday we have seen this is one process which is divided into a 4 byte of data, and this uh, 2 pages are loaded into the main memory. So actually we don't know, the CPU don't know where actually it is loaded. To understand this concept, we assume these pages are loaded at the location of frame number 2 and frame number 4 so that we can understand. For example, here your RAM is full here, okay? The other processes occupied data in a RAM. Only these 2 slots are available. So this page is loaded at here and this page is loaded at here, okay? So it is loaded at respect to location into the main memory. But which byte of data CPU want to access? This 3 byte of data. So actually the CPU access a data in a byte. So how actually the CPU uh, can access this 3 byte? As we have discussed, these pages are loaded into the main memory and the CPU don't know where it is, at which location these pages are stored. So actually CPU, this information is don't have the CPU. Like so, process 1, P1. So the CPU can access a byte of data by using a physical address. Okay. So the CPU knows the physical address byte number, that is the 3. So he knows the physical address 3. But actually the CPU don't know where these pages are loaded. Actually, to access this information, the CPU has to translate this address. So this is the memory management unit. This is a job of memory management unit who translate your address physical to the logical. Okay. So this is the job of memory management unit who translate your address physical to logical. So the physically actually it is the third byte, but logically it is stored at 9. So what we have to do, we have to translate this address 3 to 9. So this kind of address translation required. This type of address translation required. Now the question arises, how actually the CPU can map 3 to 9? So this is the physical address and this is a logical address. But the question arises how actually we can map physical to the logical. So the memory management unit this MMU map this physical to logical by the page table. By the page table. So each process having a page table. So page table. So while you are loading these pages in page, pages into the main memory, you will note down at which location you have loaded these pages. Okay. So you have loaded this page at 2 location. So F2, first page at F2 and the second at F4. So page table having this information at F2, there is a page number 1. Obviously, it will start from 0 and at the second page is 1. So this is a page table for the process 1. So each process having this kind of page table. So if the multiple processes are there, each process having their own table. So by this page table, we can map physical to the logical address. Right. So actually, how we can map? So yesterday we have discussed there is a logic, how the logical addressing format. So in logical addressing format, so in logical address, it is divided in 2 parts. One is what? That is a page number. This is a page number. And the second one is that is a page offset. Page offset means page offset. It means the size of page, right? Page offset. So actually here, for this process, each page having 2 byte of data, and how many pages are there? 2 pages are there. So 2 byte of data as well as 2 pages are there. So how many bits required to represent these two? Only 1 bit required to represent 2, right? 0 and 1, right? 0 and 1. So only the 1 bit is required. For example, if you want to represent, yesterday we have seen, if you want to represent a number 0 to 7, how many bits require? 3 bits require, 0, 0, 0 and 1, 1, 1, right? So 3 bits require. So similarly, if you want to represent 2 bit, how many bits require? Only 1 bit required. Okay, so 1 bit represent a page number and 1 bit represent a page offset. So which byte actually you want to access? This third byte. So which is on page number 1. So obviously here it is 1. Well, dear student, actually we are facing the internet issue today. So now again I have switched my internet on mobile phone somehow, but I could not actually explain the concept with the PPT. And now we explain this again. with the input diagram. So please wait until the internet issue resolved. Okay, please wait for 1 to 2 minutes because today I have to cover the segmentation part and the catching memory part. Again, very less time is remaining, so I think at least to finish segmentation part. Okay, so please stay over there. As soon as the network is all, I will switch my internet connection from mobile phone to computer. Good afternoon, student. Are you there? Do acknowledge, please? Thank you. So we are discussing paging. So many things actually wiped out here. So we have discussed how actually the CPU translate the physical address to the logical address. So the CPU having a logical address to physical address. Like we have seen, like here the page number 1 and the second byte. So this is logical address have. We use a page table to translate this logical address to the physical address. So page table having this information, like these two pages are available at F2 and F4. F2 and F4. So frame number 2 and the frame number 4. So these pages are available at F2 and F4. So we can convert into the logical address. Again, in the logical address, it is at the page number frame number 4. So page number we can add here, that is 0, 1. Actually, it is a page number 4. So it should be the 4 actually. So 4 means 100 124, right? So page number 4, F4, because it is available at F4. And which byte? The second byte. So 1. So this way, actually, we can translate the address. You can access this page number 4. But we can access the byte number 9. But how actually we can send this byte number 9 to the CPU? There's a question. So we can send by this address, because the logical address what you got 1, 0, 0 and 1. So when you will convert this address 1, 2, 4 and 8. So 8 plus 1, that is 9. So you got the value that is a 9, right? So it is right, value 9. So similarly, even if the byte number 5, if you want to access the byte number 5, then how you can access this byte number 5? You can put the same example here for the byte number 5. So the physical address, the CPU, the for logical address, the page number. So the page from the page table, it is at F2, but the CPU knows the logical address. So the logical address is what for this process? It is at page number 0. So page number 0. And if you want to access this second number byte, right? So 0, 1. So 1. So this is our logical address. So we use a page table F2 and F4. So from the page table, we get this information, like it is at F2. It means at page number 2. So for 2, we can easily convert it like 0, 1, 0 and second byte. So again it is 1. Okay. So when you will convert this 0, 1, 0, 1, the value is 1, 2, 4, 8. So 1 plus 4. that is 5. So you can directly access this 5 byte and you can send this 5 byte to the CPU. It is very simple. So in this way, in the paging, we have to convert the address physical to logical with the help of this page table. This is a logical this is a logical to physical. This is a logical address and this is the physical address. Okay, so I hope all you could understand this simple concept paging. Please do acknowledge, did you understand this concept paging? This is very simple. Simply what we are doing, dividing a process into equal size pages and how the CPU can access the page. So we'll start the next concept, that is segmentation. Segmentation. What is a segmentation actually? So segmentation is a method by which we divide a memory into parts, then we will put into the memory. So segmentation is a method by which actually what we can do, we can divide a process into a parts, into a different part, and then we will put that different part into the memory. So you may ask, what is the difference between paging and segmentation? In paging also what we are doing, you are dividing one process into equal part and then you are putting into the memory. And segmentation also, you are dividing a process into a different part and then putting into the memory. So please do acknowledge in chat box what is exact difference in between paging and segmentation. Again, I am telling, please listen carefully. In paging, you divide one process into equal part and then you are putting that process information in pages in a frame into the memory, equal size pages. But in segmentation also, we are dividing a process into a different part and then we are putting all this information into the memory. So what is the difference? हम पेजिंग में भी क्या कर रहे थे कि पूरी प्रोसेस को हम इक्वल पार्ट में डिवाइड कर रहे थे पेजेस में और उस पेजेस को हम मेमोरी के अंदर रख रहे थे। सेगमेंटेशन में हम क्या करते हैं, हम उस प्रोसेस को एक डिफरेंट पार्ट्स के अंदर डिवाइड करते हैं और फिर हम उसे मेमोरी में रखते हैं। क्या डिफरेंस है? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? प्लीज डू एक्नॉलेज इन चैट बॉक्स। आर यू देयर? आर यू विथ मी? प्लीज डू एक्नॉलेज। क्या डिफरेंस है? सही में समझ में नहीं आ रहा आपको हम क्या कर रहे हैं पेजिंग और सेगमेंटेशन में? हम पेजिंग में एक प्रोसेस थी, उसको इक्वल पार्ट में हम डिवाइड कर रहे थे और उसे हम मेमोरी के अंदर रख रहे थे पेजेस के अंदर, एक प्रोसेस को। तो क्या डिफरेंस है? ओके, रितिशा से send the answer in paging one process into equal parts and segmentation in different parts. Yes, very good, Ritisha. Jayesh, in segmentation we are divide in different parts, or in paging we divide in equal parts. Very good, Jayesh. Okay, so what is the main difference? In paging, we divide the process into equal part, but in segmentation, we divide the process maybe in different size, right? Same size and in different size. In paging, it is fixed. In segmentation, it's variable. It vary. Now, what is the use? Why we cannot use a paging? Why actually we have to divide into a different part? For example, suppose if you have written one program and there are two functions like F3 and F4, two functions are there in the one program, right? Simply, for example, this is an add function. So you want to add the different numbers. So in paging, what actually you will do, in paging, you will equally divide your program in two parts. Again, each function having should require same size without knowing what is inside the memory. Okay. So in paging, actually, simply you will divide this program in two parts in same size in paging, right? It may happen this function, few statements are there which are going into the function 4, right? Or few statements are which are moving into the function 3. It may happen if you are dividing from in equal parts. So it may happen your F3 is bigger than F4, right? It may happen. And after dividation, what happened? Your function 3 part, it is in the F4. So suppose if you want to execute this program, first you are sending this F3 part to the CPU. At the very immediately you have to share F4 part to the CPU. Otherwise, your program could not run because a few part from the function 3 is belongs to the function 4, right? So without knowing what is inside the data, simply paging divide your data into equal parts. Okay. So, but actually, it is not the good. Here is one another example we can consider. There is another one program is there. Here, for example, there is a main function is there, add function is there, subtract function is there, the square root function is there, standard one STSY function, different functions are there. So each function having different size. You could see here. This function is bigger, this function is again comparatively smaller, this one is again comparatively, S2 is smaller than S1. So these functions having a different size. And obviously, while doing a program, most of the time, each function having a different size. So we cannot do like the partial code we can share with this partial code we send to the main, and again this partial code sending to the latter, and then again we cannot divide this function like this, right? In equal part. This part here connected here. We cannot divide, right? So this is the reason we require segmentation. How? You could see here, for example, this is S0. For S0, how much, what is the size of S0? Which is starting from 3300 to 3500. It means the S0 size is 200 byte. Again, for the S1, which is starting from 1800 to 20, so this size is again a 400 byte. Again for S2 which is starting from 2700300, again here it is 600 bytes. So here it's stored into the memory which having a different size, right? So this is the reason we require segmentation. So how actually the segmentation works? So the concept is very simple. I hope all you could understand. But the question arises, how actually the CPU can access the segmented part from the main memory. As we have discussed earlier, the CPU access bytes of data from the main memory. In our paging concept, we have seen the computer CPU generates one address, that is the logical address, right? One address, that is a logical address. This format we have seen. S is for the sequence number. S is for the sequence number, and D is for the segment size. D is for the segment size. In our paging, actually, this is a page number and page offset. Page offset is nothing but your page size. Here is a segmentation. So in segmentation, this is a sequence number and this is a segment size. Okay. So CPU generate one address, a logical address. As we know, the CPU generate a logical address, and then we have to translate our logical address to the physical address. But what is the process? For example, suppose the CPU want to access the segment, the first segment. For example, this first segment, the CPU want to access. So actually in segmentation, as we have seen, each segmented part having a different size. Each segmented part having a different size of data. For example, here it's having 600 bytes of data, but the CPU may ask only 200 bytes of data from the 600 bytes of data. It is possible in the segmentation, right? But what is the process? So here, this is a segment table. So like the page table, each process having a segment table. So from the segment table, you will get the address of sequence number, segment number. These are the segment number. Okay, so which segment number that you want to access? 1800. So S1, 1800. And what is the size of this S1? That is 400 bytes. Just a minute. Hello sir, lecture में lecture में हाँ फिट करके गया हूँ हाँ चालू हो गया पता नहीं साइड में कर रहे शायद इधर का लगा दिया हाँ सर लेक्चर चल रहा है इसके बाद देखते हैं Oh my God, time is so short. Okay. So this first S1 process we want to access, and this is a size. Size is 400. Yes. 2200 minus 1800. The size is 400. So this segment, the CPU want to access, which having this 1800 as well as segment size is a 400. So how actually we can access? So this request send, okay, segment size is a 400. So here actually we will check. The computer check the size of D. So this D must be less than or equal to size. D must be less than or equal to this size. Obviously, if it is instead of this 400, suppose the CPU is asking 500. The CPU is asking 500, but actually how much data is available? What is the actual size? That is a 400. Obviously, it is not acceptable because you cannot move into the other segment. You cannot take this 100 bytes of data from the other segment. So it is not acceptable if the size of D is larger than the size. So that time a trap is generated. So CPU generates a trap, or you can say the error. So this kind of error is generated if D is bigger than the size. Okay, so that's why here we have to check what is the value of D and what is the value of size. If it is not less than, so trap is generated. If it is less than, yes. So then what we will do, we will simply add the, for example, here it is S 1800, S is 1800, S is 1800 plus what is the size? Size is 400. So it is added here 400 and it is 2200. So this block 1800 to 2000, this segmented block sent to the CPU, right? This block, the complete block, because how much data he want? 1800 to 2200. This complete block sent to the CPU. Instead of this, uh, so actually how it having the address. So S having a physical address that is 001, which is for the segment 1, and D is for the size. So it is 1, 0, 0, 0. For example, in this way, there is a size. Okay. In this way, actually, S and D, this information CPU sent to the segment table, and from the segment table, the respective segment in information sent to the CPU. So this is your main memory. Now suppose instead of this 400, the CPU is asking the another segment, for example, this third segment, and out from this third segment, instead of 400, he want only the 200. So that time here, what kind of operation it will perform? 2300 plus 200 is equals to 2500. 2500. So from the 2300 to 2500, only this much of data. Okay, the CPU is asking only this much of data from this segment. That is possible in segmentation. We can store this data into a different part, as well as even CPU can demand a different size block of data. So here actually he want only the 200, so 2300 plus 200, that is 2500. This much data CPU want. So only this much data will be provided to the CPU. Okay, this is about the segmentation. So actually today I have discussed, planned to discuss with you cache memory, but somehow it's not possible today. Time is over. I hope all you could understand segmentation. If you could not understand, I will revise the segmentation part in the next lecture so that all you could understand properly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now you can leave the session. If you have a doubt, if you could not understand, please do acknowledge.